Hello, hello, my beautiful sacred masculines. So nice to be here with you again. Today is Tarot Day. Yay. So I have been contemplating what our topic might be this morning or for this week rather. I realized, I don't think I've said this before, but since these are weekly tarot readings, and initially I thought I was going to do more of kind of like a reading of like the astrology and what was going on in the collective, but it's kind of turning into kind of a topic of discussion, and then we're utilizing the tarot and oracle if we ever get to we'll see how today goes, to kind of support us in the discussion in opening up, to bring in some more wisdom to support our expansion, our evolution, and the raising of our consciousness around whatever the discussion topic might be. So let's just continue on in that vein. And what I realized that I wanted to say was that it would be fun to take this topic and explore it through the week, see what it brings up for you, what it sparks for you, and how it shows up for you throughout the week. So just something to kind of like ponder, contemplate, bring greater awareness to, look at, see how it's showing up in your life. This week, something that's been really up for me, and it often is presence, being present. And that's such a huge piece of sacred sexuality and the authentic tantric path, getting into the now moment, being here right now instead of like off in the future or past, future, whatever you want to, whatever direction. We can tend to spend a lot of our time there, up in our minds, spinning out on something that happened or didn't happen in the past, or what is or isn't going to happen in the future. And that really takes up so much of our energy, our mind, our mindset, our thought process, our energy. Like so much of what we put our energy towards in our daily life is about creating something for the future, or maybe undoing something from the past. So we're just not here in this moment where everything really is. The past and the future are constructs. They're not actually happening. It's an idea. It's something that we've just become really attached to in our minds. But the truth of it is, there's only this moment right now. And I think, if you've been on the spiritual path, or just, I don't know, even in the world today, we hear a lot more people, I think, talking about presence and being present and being in this moment. So it is a focus for a lot of people now, because we are recognizing how detrimental it is to us to always be in the past or the future, because truly it just never comes. A lot of people wait and wait if like if when they reach these goals, then they're going to start living their life. When I make this much money, when I have the house, when I have the car, when I get to vacation, when I move to another place, then I will start living. When I have that relationship, when I have that degree. There's always something in the future that once we have that thing and we've accomplished that goal, then we're going to start living, then we're going to start enjoying life. We feel like we need to have those things in order to really start living. And the truth is, when we're in that mindset, once we accomplish that thing, or once we get to that thing, it's great for a day, a month, or something, and then we're on to the next thing. What's the next thing that we need to fill the void? Because it's not about those external factors or forces. It's all inside. And when we have a lack and an emptiness and a longing and a yearning for something to fill that, it's just never going to get filled. That's where the path comes in. That's where the spiritual growth comes in. It's really getting present, getting into the truth of the reality, which is we are whole and complete, and everything is right here, right now within us. It's not about anything external to make us feel whole. And if it is, it's just never going to work. It truly isn't. And we see a lot of people that go through their whole lives waiting to get to that thing, and they never do, and they die bitter, angry, frustrated, sad, depressed, lost, confused, wondering what happened. Did I make some wrong choices there? Something didn't work. Something that they the life, the promises didn't come to fruition. It's really supported in our society, the trajectory of a life, what it's supposed to look like. You graduate high school, then you go to college, then you get the job, then you stay in that career for however long, then you get a partner, then you get married, then you have children, then you have the car, then you have the house, then then you retire, and then you have money to go travel. It's just like, when you're older and maybe you've lost some vitality, and it's just, let's live right now. Do it right now. What do you want to, how do you want to live your life? What are your dreams? Do them now. Don't wait. And I've really built my life on this, and not to say that's always easy, because you're always kind of bumping into yourself, like breaking with convention and going against the grain and going against what we've been taught by society. I'm out here traveling the country in my little shuttle bus, and that was something I always thought that I would do maybe in retirement. Whatever retirement is, it's very different now than it used to be. Do people even retire now? That's kind of a thing of the past, I feel like, because the way we do careers and jobs and such is just very, very different than it used to be, where you would stay at a company for 20, 30 years and then retire with the gold watch and the pension and all that stuff. So I don't even know that pensions exist anymore, or for people coming up. It's just a different world out there, so we need to really change our mindset and our way of living life. Do it now, take it now. It's time. So I've really pushed back against that, and just really and pushed back against myself, who thinks when I get to this spot, when I get to this place, when I get to this experience, then I'll start living. It's just like, no, do it now. And that's about being in the present moment and always just staying here and being in focus. So I've really been looking at that. It's something that is always kind of front and center. The more present we can get, the more the more we do live our life, and the more we do enjoy the moment. And I've been talking to us a lot about being in our body and coming down into our body, and that really is about breathing down into the moment and coming down into this present experience of our physical body. What are we feeling and experiencing right now? Not about being out there. And that's part of why coming into the body, because it does help us to get a lot more presence and to ground down and move out of the mind so much. And that's the mind just really wants to be in the past or the future. So it's a lot of training and reorienting and consciousness and being aware of when we're in the past or future, because it tends to be quite a lot. It's like, when we start getting aware of it, it's like, wow, really? Oh my gosh. Okay, so keep bringing it back. I've been on this path for some time, and it's just like, it can be subtle and sneaky, the way the mind, it's not like lost in future or past events like it used to be, spinning out, and I wish things had been different. I wish I'd made different choices. I should have done this, blah, blah, blah. It's not that anymore. I'm really not lost in the past anymore like I used to be, which is a huge bonus. I mean, I've really come a long way. So thank goodness for that, because that is so useless. Like, the past, it's done. It's no help to keep ruminating and spinning in it and reliving, what happened, what didn't happen, and blaming, being resentful, being angry, victim consciousness, that's all past stuff. So I've released a lot of that and moved into a much more, now I tend to be more about future things and getting excited stuff, like, our upcoming pilgrimage to India. I can be really like, ooh, kind of future oriented about that. And it's like, that's great to plan for things and to have goals to work towards. But if you're more in that experience than you are in the now, that's when you've got to look at that. If it's more about, I will be living my life. Once this happens, then it's really going to get going. Once we're in India, then it's really going to be a thing, where it's opposed to like, no, because I had to remind myself of that, like Death Valley. I was very excited about getting to Death Valley, very, very excited. And so here I am. I'm in Death Valley, and now I'm like in another future thing. Like, okay, I can't wait to get to India. It's like, get back here, settle down, be in this moment that you created for yourself. Be in this experience. This was your dream. This is your dream, and you're here. You're living it right now. I'm living my dream. I'm out in the desert, just chilling out and enjoying connecting with you all, and just being with the earth, and being in presence, and being in my meditative practices and such, and just being totally free and in this gorgeous energy. Be in it, like come down, be in it. Don't be in the future. It's fine to, organize some things and do whatever I need to do to start, creating that, but be here and really savor this moment that I created. I created this for myself because this is what I wanted so badly. And it's another thing, like if I get to India and then we're in our pilgrimage and then I'm off into something else, and not being in that moment and not really enjoying and savoring all that I've created, that's what we really want to watch with ourselves. So I'm very aware of that. And it's so beautiful because I thought of this book last year around this time, a little before. I was reading Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now and New Earth. And those are all about being present in the moment and just coming back into ourselves, and how we can get so lost in future or past, and how detrimental that can be for us. How stressful it is, So those were really powerful books. So I recognized, I'm like, I want to revisit those. So my beloved partner, I was talking to him on the phone, and I mentioned to him, like, I think I'm going to revisit those. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to do that too. And he was talking about, I tend to just I'll open the book and I front to, cover to cover. That's how I read things. I just I don't want to miss anything, which is another mentality. It's like that FOMO, fear of missing out. If I don't read each page, is something, I'm going to miss something. So, and he was talking about, he just opened the book to something that, and it was like the perfect teaching for him. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to break out of my comfort zone. I'm just going to open the book and see what happens. And it was the perfect thing. So I was just like, okay, so that's another way we can notice ourselves, and we can witness ourselves, see when we are stuck in some habitual patterns that are based in fear. If it's some patterns that we have going on that are really healthy for us, like yoga every morning, that's great. But if we're attached to it, or freaking out if we don't do it and we're really in fear about that's not healthy. But noticing ourselves, witnessing when we're in our patterns, and pushing against those, that's that's all about the spiritual path. So I noticed that pattern. I was like, I'm going to push against myself here and break out of my comfort. And it ended up being gorgeous and beautiful. So, but I wanted to read this to you because it's just really, I know that's probably going to go do that. Okay. Oh, and here's the book, The Power of Now. I can't recommend this more highly. It's perfect book. It was a total game changer for me. Are you worried? Do you have many what-if thoughts? You are identified with your mind, which is projecting itself into an imaginary future situation and creating fear. There is no way that you can cope with such a situation because it doesn't exist. We create all this shit in our mind, all the what-ifs and the worrying and the stressing and the, oh my God. It's a mental phantom. You can stop this health and life-corroding insanity simply by acknowledging the present moment. Coming back into it. Become aware of your breathing. This is why we talk about breathing so much. Feel the air flowing in and out of your body. Feel your inner energy field. All that you ever have to deal with and cope with in real life, as opposed to imaginary mind projections, is this moment. Ask yourself what problem you have right now Not next year, not tomorrow, or 5 minutes from now. What is wrong with this moment? And when you really start to practice this and really start coming into the moment, you recognize like everything is here. You have everything you need. Everything is just perfect, really. There is nothing to fear. But we're in the future. That's what we're fearing. Or in the past, here in this moment, I'm just sitting here talking with you, sharing, connecting. Everything is great. I'm totally fed. I'm held. I have beautiful space to hang out in. I'm in the desert. I'm connected with the earth. I'm doing what I love and what I'm passionate about, which is sharing with you. It's amazing. If I want to freak out about something in the future, I could easily do that, but just stay here and recognize all the gorgeousness, all the beauty, all of the loveliness in this moment, in your body right now. What is wrong with this moment? Nothing. You can always cope with the now, but you can never cope with the future, nor do you have to, he says. The answer, the strength, the right action, or the resource will be there when you need it. Not before, not after. One day I'll make it. Is your goal taking up so much of your attention that you reduce the present moment to a means to an end? And that's kind of what I was doing when I was like tripping out about India stuff. This goal, when you're freaking out about that so much, or it's just taking up so much of your whole experience, that's when you need to look at that. Is it taking the joy out of your doing? Again, we can get so focused on what is to come, or the end result, that we're not even in the moment enjoying what we're doing. It feels like it's stressful. We have to get things done. We're marking things off the list. We're not even in it. And I really got so intentional over the past few years about action from a heart-based place, not action from a fear-based place. Like, if I don't do this, this isn't going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And just not conscious, not even in what I'm doing. Bringing it down, coming into the moment, recognizing and filling what you're doing with love and joy. Just really being in a love and caring and grateful experience and feeling, putting that into all that you're doing. Love, care, and attention versus like, I got to get this done to get to the next thing, mark that off the list. Because this is our time. This is our life right now. It's not over there. It's not in the future. If we're not in love and gratitude and joy in this moment as we're doing what we're doing, what's the point? Is it taking the joy out of your doing? Are you waiting to start living? We already covered that. Like, so many people, so many of us, that's our experience. If you develop such a mind pattern, no matter what you achieve or get, the present will never be good enough. The future will always seem better. That's huge. Once I get there, then it's all going to be great. Oh my gosh, that was my thing too. And I would do that with, like, when I'm traveling. I get to a place and then I'm thinking about the next place. Oh, Death Valley, it's going to be amazing when I get there. And then I get there and I'm like, oh, when I get to the next place. Oh, when I get to Joshua Tree, like, fuck. Stop it. Stop the insanity. Be here right now. A perfect recipe for permanent dissatisfaction and non-fulfillment. Don't you agree? And then it just goes on. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to stop right there, but that. And then let's bring that into sacred sexuality. Not being present, because that is so freaking huge. We get so excited about having this sensual sexual moment with a partner or with ourselves, self-pleasuring. We're so excited. And then we get into the moment and we're spinning out in our heads, or we're already at the end to the orgasm piece, or we're in our mind, we're in fantasy, we're in like, or we're worrying about how we're doing, or we're worrying about, are we getting enough? I've had people contact me. Do you offer multiple shots on goal? If you know what that means, like multiple ejaculations. And it's just like, oh my gosh, you haven't even had the first one and you're worried about the next one. What the fuck? That's one way to look at that. But that's kind of always my thought about it. Why don't we just like be here in the moment and see what happens, see what transpires, instead of like freaking out about not getting enough. And that's another way that we kind of go about our life, worrying about not getting enough, not getting hours, not getting fulfilled and satisfied. And that's a way that we enter into sexual experiences. And again, that's all in our mind. That's, you know, being present is coming down out of the mind, coming into the body, really feeling the sensations that are happening in the moment, not worrying about future sensations that we won't even be present for either. Because if that is our natural state, that moment is never going to come, and it's not going to matter how many orgasms we have because we're not even present for the one. Does that make sense? You know, so next time you're in a sensual experience with a partner or with yourself, just breathe into your body, breathe into your pelvic region. That's a good one because it pulls you right down into your body. So breathe into that space. Come into the moment. Feel. Breathe into where you are touching, where your skin is connecting with another person or with yourself. Where are you touching yourself? Breathe into and bring your awareness down into wherever you are touching yourself, wherever there's contact being made, and just really savor the sensations, savor the feelings. Bring your awareness into the body, out of the mind. That's where all the beauty and the fulfillment and the satisfaction and the connection are happening. You know, it's not up here. It's not up here. That's a fantasy. That's a fantasy. Bring it down and open to what is being experienced. Again, when we're up in our mind, we shut down so much of what our body is experiencing, what our energy is experiencing, what is really going on. When we bring that awareness down, we start to open up our experience so much more, and we start to notice what is really happening. Wow, how amazing that is when my stomach is being touched like that. Wow, I had no idea that could be so erotic and so sensuous. Oh my gosh, breathing into that. Wow. And then that moment, that now moment can last like an eternity because you're so present with yourself. You're so into that sensation. And then when you just really slow it down, ooh, just that, just bring it down into my body, just like, ooh, that feels freaking amazing. That is stunning and exquisite, and so much better than whatever my mind could create, you know? This is another experience I've had where I've had like reviews written where people are describing experiences and things that never even happened. I'm like, where were you? You clearly weren't here with me because that did not take place. I think that's funny, but again, it shows the power of the mind that we create our own reality. So we are creating that. We'll create that experience for ourselves, even if it isn't the reality or, you know, maybe what our partner is experiencing. So bring it down, tune into yourself, tune into your partner, really connect with their energy as well, just like, and open to that experience. Always just bring it back to the breath. That'll help bring you into the moment. And you're welcome to keep practicing this. Practice with all your self-pleasuring. Practice it when you're taking a walk. I was out walking this morning and I was just like, breathe it down. Feeling where my paws were hitting the earth. You know, what does that feel like? Feeling the air on my skin. Feeling the movement of my body as I was walking. Just really like, getting really conscious and aware of that. So something for you to again, this is something we can practice as we have these discussions each week and see how this opens up for you as we move through the week. And always feel free to come and practice with me. This is what it's all about. Really, really getting into that. All right, now that we have had that beautiful conversation, that's a conversation that could go on and on and on. But I think we'll pause it right there and we'll move into the cards to see what they have to share with us to support us in this. And we're going to Light our beautiful sage. Thank you, fire spirits. Thank you, gorgeous sage spirits. Yeah. There is something about this sage that just is really, really brings me right down into my body. Really brings it into the present moment. Thank you. Mwah. Lovely. Okay, we have our gorgeous cards here. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, Father, Son. Thank you to all of our spirit guides and helpers. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, angels. Thank you, wisdom beings of the highest love and the highest order. Thank you to all the planetary energies. Thank you, plant spirits, animal spirits, crystal spirits, all of our beautiful supports, all ascended masters that support us so beautifully on our journey. Thank you to our beautiful bodies. Thank you to each other for being here. Thank you to our higher selves. Breathing down into the body, taking a nice deep breath. Another nice deep breath right down into our root chakra. And exhaling up the spine. Thank you for breathing with me. That feels so lovely, so delicious. All right, now going to the cards. That's just a very simple, any words of wisdom to support us in being more present as we move through the week. Coming down into our bodies and coming down into this now moment. Any words of wisdom? Thank you, beautiful cards. Oh my gosh, just can't even make this stuff up. It's so beautiful. There we go. Okay, there was two on the bottom that I really wanted to pull out. So, wow, this is a great reading. Okay, so we have here. This is the Eight of Cups. And the cups, again, as we've talked about, is the feminine energy. It's emotions, it's intuition, and this guy here, he's walking away from all of these cups. He's like, okay, I recognize that I've put a lot of effort into these cups, and there's a lot going on there, but it's time to let go. It's time to walk away. It's time to make a new decision, to try a new path. I've put so much into all of that, but I'm recognizing it's just not working. And you can see there's like an empty space there where another cup would go, but he's just like, you know what? I'm done with it. I know I've put a lot into this, but it's time to go. And to me, that feels like, we have put a lot of energy into the future, into the past, and we've really built up our whole, it can be our personality, it could be our dreams and desires. Everything is in the future or everything is in the past. So we put a lot of effort, a lot of our mental energy, a lot of spinning into a lot of investment. We've invested a lot into this mindset and into striving towards the future, striving to the next day. When I get here, then I'll start living my life. We've put a lot into that because it is what we've grown up with. Really, it's all about the future. Everything is very future oriented, and we've devoted so much of ourselves to that way of living, into that viewpoint, into that belief system. We have got to walk away from that. We have to let it go. We have to let that go. It's very fear-based, and it's not, it's just sucking the life out of us, and then this guy, here he is, he's like, fuck, I've put a lot of effort in, and wow, this is a heavy burden. I'm ready to set this crap down. This is the 10 of Wands. This is the end of a journey. The 10 is the completion of a cycle. He's put a lot of energy into this. He's put a lot, and this is, again, the Wands is like spiritual growth and transformation. So I feel like as a completion, again, it really plays off this 8 of Cups here at the end of a cycle, the end of a journey, and just the end of a way of being, an end of an eon, an end of, with endings are beginnings. And so I see this as it's time to put it down, time to appreciate what transpired through all of that mindset, and understand that there's another way that we can try this now, or keep carrying this shit, if you want to just keep carrying it and keep being stuck in that and mired in that. But maybe a cautionary tale. But I feel like it's the completion, it's the end, and he's getting ready for a new adventure. Once he drops those things off at town, he's going to be free to start a new experience, or just to be free for a while, maybe to not start a new experience. What if we just like come down into this moment and quit being so future oriented? What if we just like stopped and just stayed in the now and let go of so many future goals? What if we just kind of like lived life in this moment and in this day? What if we die tomorrow? What are we going to be thrilled with the way that we lived our day and that we were in this moment? Because we never know what's going to happen. If we're not living now, maybe we won't even get the opportunity to. And then this moves into the 8 of Pentacles. And to me, I see this as it's going to take some practice, some practice and effort to switch gears, after dropping off our stuff. We're going to have to be in a new mindset, and a new mindset like coming out of the mind, really. But it is a new belief system. It's a new understanding of our reality, and it's a new way to connect with our reality. And it's a total paradigm shift, coming back from the future. Was that movie Back to the Future? Back from the future, like coming back, coming back from the past to come into this moment, and it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of recognition. And I'm seeing this as well with this. This 10 of Wands is very interesting card to me, because I do feel like it's the end of a journey, but it's going to, in order to drop these things, to drop this heavy stuff that we've been carrying around, in order to drop the future, to put it down, it's going to take some effort, and we're going to have to continuously bring ourselves back to it, bring ourselves back to the moment, bring ourselves back in any way that we can do that. Again, I highly recommend getting this book, and that will really support you on your path. And then breathing, I just taught a little breathing exercise technique a couple of days ago. Check that out. Meditation, which is our next card. This is the 4 of Swords. And you see this guy, he's just like laying down, chilling out. And look at the 3 swords. I heard somebody, one of my favorite readers, he was talking about like downloads, like the swords are downloading information from the cosmos. And I liked that. But I also think of, but that can't happen if we're not calm and settled. We're going to miss some of that information, those opportunities. But this is a card of rest and relaxation. This knight is just like, he's just chilled out. It's time to relax and meditate and go within and go internal. And that is really what this is all about, coming down into the now moment, bringing it back to now. Meditation, relaxation, calm, breathing, coming into this stillness, this still point. It's all going to support our being in the now. So, and then, gosh, I keep wanting to drop these. From there, we move into the sun. This is a very spiritual card. It just like, look at how happy that little kid is on his horse. It almost looked like a unicorn from there. The sun is out, the flowers are blooming. This is spiritual growth and like accomplishment, and just like you've moved into joy, and it's a whole new way of being. So it's like you've arrived, this is it, and it's just like, I mean, really, I don't really need to say a lot about that. It's just like you can see how much joy and exuberance and and illumination, the sun, there's that sacred masculine energy, just like, wow. The sacred masculine is all about presence and consciousness, holding space for the feminine, who is that creative power of our universe. The sacred masculine holds space for her, holds a beautiful container, and certainly can't do that when lost in the past or future past, whatever, when we're spinning out, the masculine spinning out, trying to do all these things, hold it all into place, and worrying about the future and creating this thing that will never come and that won't ever get to be enjoyed, because even when you get there, the mind is still going. So really coming back into the now, always, always, always being in that sacred masculine consciousness, expansion, open, not controlled by the mind, a strong balance between mind and body. The mind is gorgeous and beautiful, but not when it's got a hold of us, not when we're enslaved to it and its patterns and its freakouts about the past or the future. That is not beautiful. Bring it back to this moment. So this is a really gorgeous reading. Yeah, it's time to leave the old shit behind, the old way of doing it behind, because it is not satisfying. As much as he's put into those cups, as much effort as he's put into that way of being, he recognizes this is not working. I'm not satisfied. I'm not full of joy. I'm not connecting with people in a harmonious, beautiful, nourishing, fulfilling way. I'm not having the life of my dreams that I was promised by doing all of these things. It's not working. I've put in a lot of effort. It's time to drop the load, drop the burden, and move into a new way. And really, and there's something very spiritual about this card too. There's there's a lot that have gone before us there's so much wisdom we can glean from them. There's so much wisdom that is available to us, and we just need to open to that and recognize it. Like these books, like there's so many teachings, there's so many beautiful practices, and so many ways to move into to really support us in our process right now, in this advancement, in this evolution of our consciousness right now. But it is going to take practice and effort and devotion, dedication, discipline. Really freaking important. And the discipline is going to be a lot of meditation and coming back into that moment, into that stillness, really bringing it down. See those swords, they are bringing it down. It's aligned with what I'm doing right now, bringing it down into the body, into this moment, into the now. And that leads us to that joy and fulfillment and satisfaction that we've been longing for. It lives right here in this moment. It's not in the future. It is not in the past. It is in this moment. That is really gorgeous and beautiful. Let me see if there's anything more coming through about that. there is something to be said about this Ten of Wands card. Again, just that completion energy, and open to teachings and to spiritual wisdom to support you on your path. You know what you're doing right here. If you're watching this, you're open to it. So and you're clearly ready to take some action, and to put in some effort. You know, take all of this to heart and really, what is the life that you want? What do you want to create for yourself? And how can you bring it into this moment? How do you create your days that support this moment, but not lost in the future? There's a fine balance here, you know, because we do set goals for ourselves, and we still do move towards things. Obviously, we know if we're putting in more effort and practicing something, it's because we know that we're going there. There's a place where we're desiring to be, which is in the now. That's something we're desiring to be in, right? We recognize that it's, we want to be in this moment, but not, there's another thing around guilt and shame and judgment. You know, it is a lot of effort because we're moving out of an old system. We're moving out of an old paradigm. So it does take a bit of effort. There's discipline. There's dedication and devotion to this path, and to coming back into the now. So do not beat yourself up if you find yourself, like, you know, future trip and lost in there. Just like when we, with our breathing practice and with meditation, you just continuously bring yourself back to the moment. Bring yourself back. Don't beat yourself up. That is not helpful at all. Just continue coming back to the moment, coming back to the moment, coming back into the moment. I think that feels good for that. I'm actually going to get to a freaking oracle card today because we never have. This is the Shaman's Dream Oracle, and it's really, really gorgeous. It's lovely, lovely images and lovely. My shorts just keep wanting to go up. Pull those down. It's so nice to be wearing shorts, I gotta tell you. It's a gorgeous day here in the desert. It's beautiful. Sun is out. Sky is blue. Minimal wind. Lovely. Okay, going to the Oracle to see if there's any words to support us on our path. I will say that my upcoming 12-week program is all about releasing all of the things that keep us from being in the now moment, because there's so much mental constructs and belief systems that keep us from living our life, creating the dream, that the life that we want, living it in this moment and having it all right now. There's so many patterns of body, speech, and mind that get in the way of us really fully living our lives, as we are just kind of trapped in them until we get out from underneath these patterns. We're a slave to them. So bringing them up to our consciousness and connecting with the tools to help them move through. And once they are conscious and we see them, because so much of it is in the unconscious, and it's just like running on autopilot, and we wonder, like, how do I keep getting into the same situation in my relationship? Why do I keep ending up in this same type of relationship? Why do I keep ending up with the same manager or boss? Why do I keep perpetuating these patterns? Why do I keep having this situation with my family? It's a pattern. It's energy patterns, and it's unconscious. As much as we might want to change it or think that we have, there's a frequency that we're vibrating at, and a pattern that keeps chugging along regardless of our best intentions, you know, and really addressing that with tools, with energy healing, with sound, with practices, meditation and stuff, and breaking up the frequency, dissolving the frequency, breaking the pattern. You know, that is what changes our life. That's what changes our experience. It's really, we have to get that out of there, get free of that. And that's what this program is all about, really recognizing our patterns, and then clearing them out, breaking them down, and with a lot of tools to dig into what's going on in there, and not in a mental way. We're not gonna like it's not about going into story and diving into that talk therapy kind of stuff, because I just don't feel like that's really of much benefit. And that some of that can be useful, of course, having some understanding, because we do use our mind. This is a body, mind, spirit program. It's very holistic because we've gotten way up in our mind and forgotten the body and the spirit. Or some people get way spiritual and forget their body and their mind. It can go all over the place, but we're really trying to come into balance here. And that is really what the tantric path is all about too, and the sacred sexuality path. It's bringing the masculine and feminine energies into balance. It's bringing body, mind, and spirit into balance. So and then everything just flows from there, and it's gorgeous. But until we get very conscious of where we're not in balance, it just kind of keeps perpetuating itself. So we dig into that in a really beautiful and powerful way, really life-changing way. Again, you're welcome to read testimonials on my website about that program if it interests you, and check out the program page on my website to really get a much more thorough understanding of what's being addressed there. So, and what we'll be diving into each week. It's gorgeous. Okay, so Oracle. What do you have to share with us today about being present? What words of wisdom might you offer to support us on our journey? Very interesting. Okay, we have 56. It's called the wall. Obstacles. Yes, what obstacles get in the way of our being in the moment? Obstacles: being inconvenienced by life, detours, non-action. There are moments in your life when you are so geared up, so sure that you are on track, with such drive and momentum, that you are shocked and confused when you encounter a wall. This unpredictability occurs outside your ability to plan, regardless of if you've done everything right in alignment with the divine. This is kind of that like Eight of Cups cards, when we've put all the effort in, we've done all the things, and it's still just like not fulfilling, not satisfying, not the thing. It's imperative that you change your attitude now. Isn't that exactly what we're talking about here? Wow, this temporary roadblock is not an obstacle to blast through. This is not an invitation to push harder, cancel other plans, or worry about who will win or lose. This is a stopping point to enable you to slow down and contemplate the part of the manifesting equation that you and everyone else forgets. Life on life's terms will override your best laid plans. Yes, as inconvenient as it may seem, this experience is an important reminder that you are a human being, not a human doing. This is exactly what we're talking about. This is great. Perhaps you're being reminded of your mortality, or that you are but a small part of a bigger universe where your destiny intersects with others. Your life may be meant to serve another purpose at this moment, and your attention meant to be directed elsewhere. Consider that this place of temporary non-action is exactly meant to be for you. Perhaps it's because all you desire and have set in motion needs time to coalesce into form on the other side. Could it be that all the elements are not yet in place for its manifestation to be for the highest good of all? Patience is required now, and the wisdom that this might be a great time to take a break and contemplate gratitude. What is truly yours will never be walled off from you. That's really interesting in the context of what we're talking about here. So, being inconvenienced by life, detours, non-action. Yeah, again, like just coming down into the moment and quit being so goal-oriented, which is what we were talking about, and letting life unfold, letting the universe guide. When we drop the reins, when we quit and get out of the driver's seat and just let things happen as they're supposed to, the world opens up in such a profound and beautiful way. I had no idea it was going to be like putting all my stuff into storage, getting a shuttle bus and hitting the road and living out in the wilderness. Like again, like I know I mentioned this previously, I thought maybe this would be something I did when I was much older, get an RV and go travel the country. I had no idea that I was going to do this now. But when I started just letting go, following the signs, what was showing up, what was arriving, it was like, this is the time, this is the now. And until we can come down into that still point, into that quietness in the now moment, we can't be guided and directed in such a way. And the magic, we miss out on the magic because we're so fucking focused on that thing, that very limited perspective, what we think it needs to look like, what we've been told it needs to look like by, outside forces and societal, norms and structures. When we're so myopic about that thing, we miss all these other beautiful opportunities that are trying to arise. And it's not until we come down into that still point, into that moment, into that now place, that we see and get very conscious with ourselves and with the earth, with the universe. We see what other things are trying to open up and unfold for us, all this magic that's there when we let go. There's a beautiful quote. I know I'm not going to remember it all right now. Something about when we let go of the life we have planned, then the life we're meant to live opens up, or something, or something like that. I don't know, but since I've started, really putting this into practice and letting go of what I thought and deemed necessary and what was the thing, letting go, constantly letting go, constantly like coming back to like, practicing letting go of my future tripping. What starts arising in the moment, like the India pilgrimage, just started happening and started building itself on its own. I really didn't put much effort. It just kind of naturally started moving through me, and I was naturally doing the next step. And I wasn't hemming and hawing. I wasn't like, how am I going to do this? Making big lists and, a whole bunch of energy and effort to like that. It just started kind of downloading. It started, I was just a vessel for the stuff to come through and to move through, and the planning to move through, and the people to show up to help to support it to happen, and all of the pieces of the puzzle just started falling into place. And it was without my like, I'm gonna do this, It was kind of an idea that was placed in me. I mean, I've had this dream, but it was just like, okay, now's the time, and let's do this, and let's do this, and let's do this. And it just started happening, just like the shuttle bus just started happening. And it's just like, wow. And it started happening in the most magical, miraculous ways, like things I never even could have imagined just started showing up to support the process. It was really gorgeous to watch. So the more that we can, let go of those obstacles and the wall when we bump into it, that's a moment, like that's a time. Stop, come down into the moment, and let go, and see what happens. See what magic is here for you. See what the universe has for you, what source has for you, what spirit has for you, what your higher self, your soul has for you. Where is it really trying to guide you when we let go and come into stillness and listen and be present? And we see what's going on here, what's really going on here. And it's beautiful and it's gorgeous. And that's where all the joy, the love, the fulfillment, the nourishment comes when we let go. It's true. Keep practicing. All right, my beautifuls. I have a song to play for us. I thought we could dance, and because that's always a gorgeous way to come into the moment, come into our bodies and bring it down. As you've been noticing, I've been doing that a lot lately. I'm just so into it. I'm really loving it. So I invite you to get up and join me for this song. And if we run into oh, that's right, I don't list these, so it's beautiful. So long, I've discovered, so long as I don't list the videos as public, YouTube lets me play music on them, but some of the music is copyrighted. So some artists allow their copyrighted music to play in videos, and some don't. So sometimes if you make it public, they make you change the music. So if something happens and we have to change music, if I change music on you, you'll understand why. So it's just something I'm discovering as I move along with these videos. So this is a gorgeous cover of, it's called Number of the Beast, which is initially a Rolling Stones song, I believe. And it's really, really lovely. This is by Zwan, which is a Billy Corgan, who is the leader or the singer of Smashing Pumpkins. Is it Smashing Pumpkins? Anyway, it's one of his bands, and this album just has 3 songs on it. It's just a little short thing. I don't know if he put out anything else under this entity, this musical grouping, but I love it, and it's just, I don't know, I'm feeling it today. It's a nice cover, so we'll see what happens. Thank you all for being here with me. I'm so grateful. And again, check out that program if you're interested, and check out the page on India if you want to come and really get present in the moment in the most gorgeous, beautiful, spiritually alive energy on the planet, I can say. I think I could say that. I haven't really explored the entire planet, so I probably shouldn't say that. But really damn spiritual energy, really consciousness expanding, really opening, really vibrant, alive energy that's just, it just changes you. There's something magical about the frequency there. And yeah, we'll be deep diving into all of this, and really coming into our bodies and our sensuality and sacred sexuality, union between sacred feminine, sacred masculine, the balance, harmony, the beauty, and what's getting in the way of that. We're going to be letting that go, stepping strong into our power. It's going to be gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And eating lots of yummy Indian food. Oh my gosh. I've been to India many times, and I have gorgeous restaurants picked out for us, so you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's do a little dance, kids. Oh, and I'll say a quick thank you to all of our gorgeous allies and supports, our spirit guides and helpers, angels, Mother Earth, my gorgeous sacred feminine, Father, Son, gorgeous sacred masculine energies. Thank you, everybody, for supporting us. Thank you, beautiful cards. Thank you, sage spirits. Here's that book again. Highly recommended. Okay, so we're gonna go dark there. There we are. Alrighty. Move that over. Lift this up a little bit. See how that works. My space is so little here. Ah! There goes all my cards. They went down. It's okay. Okay. Is that gonna be good? Can you see me? Okay. Let's breathe into those beautiful bodies. As Wow. I love that song. It's so beautiful. It's dark, isn't it? I was listening to those lyrics and I was like, wow, okay. And that's kind of, that's an important piece of Tantra too, you know, and that balance of light and dark. You know, we don't push things away just because there's, you know, some dark lyrics in there. It's just like, it's open to that. And that's a judgment call as well, which we are really moving out of judgment, because that's when we cause that suffering for ourselves. Judging something as good or bad, judging as something as you know, positive or negative, and just so so I love that song. Whew. Okay, everybody, thank you all so much for being here. May you have a gorgeous week, and come into that now moment. Return to that still point. Return to that still point. Return to that still point. It's all right here, right now. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. And if you want to practice this with me, let's get together. I look forward to it. Bye, y'all. If I can find the, where's the, there it is. Bye again.